Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Fluent Path English. I'm James.
And I'm Emily. We've got a great episode for you today.
That's right. We're diving into something super important today.
Today, we're going to look at the difference between past simple and past progressive, also called past continuous.
Exactly. These two structures can be confusing sometimes, so we're going to break them down in practice.
In today's dialogue, we're telling a story from the past, and there are two key words you need to know before we dive in.
The first word is ages.
Right, for example, I haven't seen you in ages.
So if I tell you, I haven't seen you in ages, what does that mean?
It means you haven't seen me in a really long time.
Exactly. It's a way of exaggerating a little bit.
Yes, and you can use ages in different ways, like, I've been studying English for ages.
Or you can say, I haven't been to the dentist's in ages.
So, ages means a very long time.
Exactly. Now, our second phrase is to run into somebody.
Like, I ran into Matt.
Okay, so if you ran into Matt the other day.
It means you met him unexpectedly.
Exactly. You didn't plan to meet, you just casually met on the street.
Like, I ran into your friend the other day.
Okay, so two good words. We're going to hear both of these in the dialogue. So why don't we get started with dialogue first time?
Mike, what's going on, man? Long time no see.
Hey, Pat. Yeah, I haven't seen you in ages. How's it going?
Things are going great. It's funny running into you like this. Small world, huh? You know, just last week I ran into Matt as well.
Yeah? How's he doing?
He's doing well. We went out for a couple of beers and the funniest thing happened.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we were talking and catching up on what we've been doing. Talking about work and family, when all of a sudden, Matt saw a mouse run under the chair and he completely lost it. He started freaking out and screaming.
Really?
Yeah, and the funniest thing was, then he jumped onto his chair and started shrieking like a girl. You should have been there. Everyone was staring and laughing. It was hilarious.
All right, that was a funny story. And we saw a lot of past tense structures, right?
That's right. But before we analyze them, let's look at some exciting language to describe strong emotions.
All right, we have 4 key phrases. Let's break them down one by one. So, the first phrase is lost it.
Lost it.
Lost it. Emily, what does it mean when someone lost it?
It means they lose control of their emotions. Usually, it means they get really angry or upset.
Right. For example, when I showed my boss the sales figures, he completely lost it.
Exactly. He got really angry. It can also mean getting really frustrated.
Yeah. So if someone is very emotional and can't control themselves, we say they lost it.
Right. What's the next phrase, James?
The next phrase is freaking out.
Freaking out.
Freaking out. How is it different from losing it?
Well, to freak out can be both positive and negative. It means reacting in a big, exaggerated way, either from excitement or fear.
Ah, like when someone is really scared or surprised, they might freak out.
Exactly. For example, I freaked out when I saw that huge spider in my room.
Or she freaked out when she won the lottery.
Yes. So it can be fear or excitement, but the reaction is big.
Exactly. And our next phrase is staring.
Staring.
Staring. What does it mean to stare at something or someone?
It means to look at something or someone for a long time, often in a way that makes people uncomfortable.
Right. If you see someone wearing something strange, you might stare at them without realizing it.
Yes. Or if you're really interested in something, you might stare at it for a while.
Exactly. Like, he stared at the painting for over 10 minutes, trying to understand it.
Or, stop staring at me, it's making me uncomfortable.
Great. So, staring means looking for a long time, sometimes in a rude way.
All right, what's next?
The next phrase is shrieking.
Shrieking.
Shrieking? Emily, what does it mean?
To shriek means to scream in a very high-pitched voice, usually because you're scared or surprised.
Right. If someone sees a mouse or a spider, they might shriek.
Exactly. Like, when she saw the snake, she shrieked and ran away.
Or, I shrieked when I heard the loud noise.
So, shrieking is a loud, high-pitched scream that shows fear or excitement.
That's right. Now that we've covered these 4 phrases, let's listen to the dialogue again.
Mike, what's going on, man? Long time no see.
Hey, Pat. Yeah, I haven't seen you in ages. How's it going?
Things are going great. It's funny running into you like this. Small world, huh? You know, just last week I ran into Matt as well.
Yeah? How's he doing?
He's doing well. We went out for a couple of beers and the funniest thing happened.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we were talking and catching up on what we've been doing. Talking about work and family, when all of a sudden, Matt saw a mouse run under the chair and he completely lost it. He started freaking out and screaming.
Really?
Yeah, and the funniest thing was, then he jumped onto his chair and started shrieking like a girl. You should have been there. Everyone was staring and laughing. It was hilarious.
Okay, so there's a lot of different uses of past tense here in this dialogue, wasn't there?
Yeah, since he was telling a story that happened, he used the past a lot.
Well, let's now, as promised, look at past simple and past progressive.
Okay, Emily, before we start our discussion, why don't we hear one example of past simple and one example of past progressive?
You know, just last week I ran into Matt as well. Well, we were talking and catching up on what we've been doing.
Okay, so we heard that just last week I ran into Matt, so we discussed what ran into means.
Yep, to meet someone by surprise.
All right, and now this structure is the simple past, right?
Yep. Now, the second example that we heard was, we were talking and catching up.
Okay, so let's look at the difference in meaning here. I ran into Matt happened in the past, right?
Right, simple past. But one moment in the past.
So, the action finished, concluded, started and finished all around the same time, so it's one simple moment.
Okay, now the other example is in the past progressive, so the action was happening for a longer period of time.
Yeah, okay, so let's attach some times to this. Maybe you ran into Matt at 8:04, okay? And so the action started at 8:04, but you were talking and cashing up from 8:05 until 9:05.
Okay, so you were talking for an hour. So it's the past progressive you use when an action is happening for a longer period of time.
Okay, so to better understand this, let's have another example.
Matt saw a mouse run under the chair and he completely lost it. Everyone was staring and laughing.
So as we heard in the example, he saw a mouse run under his chair.
So a quick action that started and finished quickly.
Okay, he saw the mouse and it ran under the chair.
Yep.
Now, the second example we heard was everyone was staring and laughing.
So maybe this happened over 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, so people were looking at him and laughing and talking about how he was screaming like a girl.
Yes. Okay. So that's the main difference between the simple past and the past progressive, the amount of time that the action happened.
Yep. All right, now that we understand a little bit more about the past tense, why don't we hear again in context by listening to the dialogue for a third time?
Mike, what's going on, man? Long time no see.
Hey, Pat. Yeah, I haven't seen you in ages. How's it going?
Things are going great. It's funny running into you like this. Small world, huh? You know, just last week I ran into Matt as well.
Yeah? How's he doing?
He's doing well. We went out for a couple of beers and the funniest thing happened.
Oh, yeah?
Well, we were talking and catching up on what we've been doing. Talking about work and family, when all of a sudden, Matt saw a mouse run under the chair and he completely lost it. He started freaking out and screaming.
Really?
Yeah, and the funniest thing was, then he jumped onto his chair and started shrieking like a girl. You should have been there. Everyone was staring and laughing. It was hilarious.
Okay, perfect. So now that we understand the words and the grammar behind it, there are some interesting phrases here that you can use casually with your friends.
Here, there's actually a lot of great sort of meeting and greeting and saying hello language.
So for example, when they met up, since they were old friends, he said, "Hey, Pat."
Okay, so this word hey,
It's kind of like hi.
And normally you would use it to get somebody's attention, right?
Yeah, like, hey, I'm over here.
Hey, waiter.
Exactly. But in this case, like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. So it's a really friendly and informal way of saying hi.
Okay, and then he asked, how's it going?
How's it going?
So again, this is a way of saying, how are you?
Yeah, Marco. What's the correct answer to this greeting?
Well, for example, he said, things are going great, right?
Right. You can say, yeah, things are great, or I'm doing well.
Or even saying great is fine as well.
Yeah, so how's it going? It's great.
Yeah. Now, another one that we didn't see in the dialogue, but it's very popular, is when somebody asks, hey, what's up?
So when somebody says, what's up, you can say, well, not much. But if you have news to share, you might say, well, I just got back from the doctor's office.
Yep, but you wouldn't say, I'm fine, thank you. Or you wouldn't say, very good, or any of these other common answers to what's up.
That's right. It can be a little bit tricky. So the rule is the normal thing to say when someone says, hey, what's up, is not much.
Yeah. All right, so interesting ways of greeting casually with people, right? You wouldn't use this for your boss, maybe, or in an office setting.
No, more useful with your friends.
Okay, so if you have any other questions or informal greetings you'd like to share with us, let us know.
James and I are always around to answer your questions, and we look forward to hearing from you. So, until next time.
Bye.